because BeCozi.net is here. BeCozi.net and BeCozi.com is an American website with the biggest collection of chunky yarns for hand knitting. Today I will be showing you a beautiful pattern that is called herringbone stitch, or it's also called twisted stitch. It's a really beautiful blanket, guys, really beautiful pattern. I will be making a baby blanket, and underneath the video I will put information how many stitches you need to start for bigger blankets. What I will be using today, I will be using BeCozi gray, gray blue variegated color, and blue. So these three beautiful colors will be used, and in between I will put one row of white, which is optional. If you don't have any other colors, just these three or any other three, you can skip adding another color in between, but I personally think it looks really beautiful when there is this separation. I showed the beautiful other color combination in video on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. These colors were misty green, seafoam and white, the same pattern. So you can use those two, and you can find those on BeCozi.net or BeCozi.com. So we have over 100 colors available. Go to our website, get some yarn, and let's get started. Okay, guys, let's get started. So we will be using BeCozi blue, BeCozi gray blue color. It's called gray blue, and also BeCozi gray. This should be really beautiful color combination, and I will put a little bit of white in between to separate the colors. So let's get started. We will start with gray. Let's start with gray. So let's take the label off and find the end of the yarn, and now we will place the yarn in front of us like that. Before we proceed, I will burn the end of the yarn a little bit to prevent unraveling when it's used, and especially when it's washed. So this is tail, this is working yarn. Working yarn goes on the top to make a loop. Insert your hand inside the loop, grab working yarn, then pull 2 strings down and first stitch up. You just made the first stitch. Pull the working yarn down a little bit to make it about an inch, a little bit over an inch. Now insert your hand inside this first stitch, grab working yarn, pull second stitch out. We have 2 stitches now, and now I will press the bottom of the second stitch. I will insert my hand and grab working yarn and pull it out to make the third stitch. We now have 3 stitches. If you can see that the same size, that's the goal, about 1 inch. And then I will keep casting on, making 15 stitches. That's the size of the baby blanket, the width of the baby blanket. We will be using 3 skeins, and the width will be 15. That's the baby size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the other sizes, I will put information underneath the video, guys. If you want to make a bigger size, look how many stitches you need to make underneath the video. So we have 15 stitches. We're now flipping it on another side, and we will start pulling out our first row. We're flipping it on another side because we need this beautiful chain on the bottom of the blanket. Any other way will not make you that beautiful chain on the bottom. So this is our first stitch over here. You are inserting your hand from underneath, grabbing working yarn and pulling it out. So you just made your first stitch. Now we will be using the middle part of every stitch, not the top, not the bottom, the middle one, this little bump over here. So the first bump is here, close to the stitch. We will insert our fingers, grab working yarn, pull the stitch out. So we have 2 stitches now. next middle part, insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. And that's how you're pulling out your first row. Make sure that the stitches are about the same size. That will give you a beautiful, professionally looking blanket when it's done. If you will be making stitches of the different size, one will be like that and this one like this, it will not look good on a finished blanket. So here we are pulling out our first row. It should be 15 stitches for a baby blanket. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. Now, from starting the next row, we will be studying our pattern. The pattern is very easy, but it looks extremely beautiful on a finished blanket. So you're taking your stitch and then you're twisting it. See? So when you're going from the left to the right, when you're knitting from the left to the right, you're twisting your stitch to the right. See, you're taking the stitch, twisting it to the right. You twisted it, insert your fingers inside, grab working yarn, and pull stitch out. Next stitch the same, twist it to the right, then insert your fingers, grab working yarn, pull it out. And that's pretty much the whole pattern for this row. We're knitting from the left to the right. This row, we are twisting the stitch from the left to the right. So I will be knitting to the end of the row this way, and then I will show you the difference between rows, because in the next row we will be twisting the stitch to the left. So this is our last stitch, the same, twisted and knitted. So now the yarn goes on the back again. We're knitting from the right to the left, and we are twisting our stitch from the right to the left. So take a stitch, twist it, grab working yarn, pull it out. Take a stitch, twist, grab working yarn, pull it out. This pattern is in my book, Hand Knitting. Also, if you prefer to see the written pattern, you can buy my book, Hand Knitting. I will put a link underneath the video. The book has, I think, 11 patterns for different blankets and other products. And this twisted or herringbone stitch, it's also called herringbone stitch, is there too. Okay, so that's first and second row. Now again, we're going from the left to the right. We're twisting our stitch from the left to the right. So simply taking a stitch, twisting it, and knitting it with a simple knitting stitch. And you will have this beautiful herringbone twisted stitch pattern. You see, it's already pretty obvious here. This pattern looks very beautiful on the finished blanket, and it kind of dense pattern. If you like your blanket to be thicker, that's the perfect pattern for this purpose. So anyway, I will keep knitting until all gray color is used, back and forth. When you're knitting from left to the right, twist from left to the right. When you're knitting from right to the left, twist the stitch from right to the left. So I will keep knitting and I will be back to show you how I connect the yarn. Okay guys, I'm done with the skein of gray. Look how beautiful this pattern looks. And now I will use a little bit of white. I will literally make just one row that will be separating colors, okay? So here's our gray. I will cut about a little bit more than 1 inch on the end, and then I will add the white color. I will just make simple knot, okay? So this is the fastest and easiest way to add the yarn. You can also use the lighter And in next connection, I will show you how to use the lighter, okay? So now we're going from the left to the right. So we are twisting the stitch from the left to the right, and we're simply making this one white row, just one. That will look really beautiful in between the colors, but it's optional. If you don't have white color or any other light color to separate, that's fine. You can just go from the gray directly to the gray blue, okay? So it's like in the other blanket that I showed you at the beginning. I just went from one color to another. So here we are. This is our gray-blue color. We're cutting our white pretty close because we will be connecting it with the lighter. So here is our great blue, beautiful color. So take the yarn and lighter and start burning the end on the left until you have the fire on the side, and then attach the other end, and then push them toward each other. Hold for about 10 seconds until it's connected and not as hot, and then you can start rubbing it together. If you start doing it earlier, you can burn your fingers because it's really, really hot. So I would highly recommend to wait. And then here you go, it's connected, okay? You can pull it, it's not pulling, so not disconnecting because it connected nicely. So that's another way to connect the yarn, guys. So now, again, we are using gray-blue, and we are going from the right to the left, so we're twisting the stitch from the right to the left. Very simple pattern. Looks incredibly beautiful on the finished blanket. So this beautiful separation of a lighter color, white, in my blanket will look really nice on a finished blanket because it's not only separating the colors, it's also giving it a very unique look. You can see it already. See? Very nice. So I will keep knitting, guys. Now you can see I'm twisting from the left to the right because we're knitting from the left to the right side, and a simple alternation of twisted stitches. That's what make this beautiful pattern. So I will keep knitting this way until I am done with the whole skein of gray-blue, and then I will be back and show you what I'm doing next. Okay, guys, so here I am. I'm done with our beautiful gray-blue. Look how beautiful it looks. So this is our gray, white, one row, and gray-blue. So we're going now to the white, back to the one row of white. Let's connect it. And this one I will connect also with just simple knot to show you again how simple this connection is. You cannot really see it on the finished blanket too. Okay, here we are. You're cutting the tails close to the knot, getting rid of ends. Here we are. So again, from the left to the right, we're twisting our stitches from the left to the right. Here we are. Beautiful combination and beautiful separation. Now when we're done with one row of our white color, we will start our beautiful blue, and this will give us a beautiful blanket. Here we are. Cut the yarn. This is blue. Here we are. Let me show again the connection with the lighter. Light up, connect, push toward each other, and wait for a few seconds. Now start rubbing it to connect it. Here we go. And we connected it. And now, again, we are making our simple stitch, twisting stitch from the right to the left. Here we are. So that's how I will continue to knit. And when I am done with my blue color, and it will be I will leave about 3 widths of the blanket left. It could be a little bit more than 3. So here we are. It will need to be 1, 2, 3, and even like 3.5. And that will be enough for casting off. So keep knitting until you will have about 3.5 widths of the blanket left. And I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm done with my blue. Look how beautiful it looks. And I have 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, a little bit more. It's better to have a little bit more than less. So if you have more yarn left, it's okay. Just leave it like that. So now we're taking 2 stitches together, and we're pushing yarn through the 2 stitches. So we're now just finished the edge of the blanket. Now keep your fingers inside, add another stitch, and then pull the yarn through these 2 stitches. And that's what we will be doing to finish the top of the blanket. We will be knitting 2 stitches at a time to create this beautiful chain on the top. So if you follow my videos, you notice that I didn't leave a stitch on the side that would give us a chain, but that's because my next video will be showing you how to make a small blanket into the bigger one, not unraveling it. So follow me. It will be next week. Here we are. We have a last stitch left. Insert this tail inside, pull it, and you just finished your blanket. Cut the yarn, burn the end, and then go underneath the chain to hide the tail. Now hide it between the stitches on the back of the blanket. Here we are. Our beautiful blanket is ready. Beautiful blue, white row, gray, blue, and gray. And now we can also finish up on the bottom, also going underneath the chain, and then underneath any stitch on the back. Here we are. A beautiful blanket is ready, and you can find this yarn at BeCozi.net. Stay warm and be cozy. Hey guys, Larissa with BeCozi.net is here. I would like to introduce my hand knitting book. The book was published in September 21, and recently it was also published with the Christian Publishing Agency. It's available on our website and also available on Amazon. This is the only book on hand knitting on the craft market. It's extremely unique and very beautiful book explaining hand knitting, giving you a history of our company, how hand knitting was born, and then it also gives you a few patterns, simple patterns with a very detailed pictures how to make every single step on the way. Go to the link underneath this video and purchase this book, and let's hand knit.